accountable to do that. We are having those conversations at the city, and I have to start I kind of start with the bubbles that I have full authority and control over, and we start to do the work there. We start to hold ourselves accountable. We start to look at things at a broader scale. And then as we stretch out, my hope is that we are constantly asking ourselves those questions. So in Safe Streets work, for example, we are absolutely asking ourselves to get to the root causes of what is causing these challenges, not just a Band-Aid, treatment, whatever, but what is causing this problem in our society to begin with. And we can, like you said, you can kind of spend all day kind of going deep. You also have to go wide and try to get a broader impact. So we're trying to do that balancing act as well. And so I guess I would encourage you as community leaders and people who care desperately about your community, reach out if you see us acting in a way that you feel we're not using our equity lens, that we're not engaging the right partners in the work. Speak up and make sure that we do. But that is why in our directive we've got this community engagement piece through. That's why we have those community advisory committees kind of woven into all of the work that we're doing, because the city government can't do it alone. We can't do it in a bubble. We need to be engaging with the community that we are here to serve and hearing directly from that community, telling us how we can do this together. Because that is absolutely, you're spot on. It's the only way we're going to get to these core challenges that we're facing in our community and that we all want to tackle. So thank you. Thank you for doing the leadership work in your community around it too. There was a question over here. I saw a hand. Yes.
Well, it's a question that you don't have to answer right now, but also to share. I know Linda mentioned it earlier, but tomorrow evening we are going to open up our doors for an Explorer community dialogue. And I want to say thank you very much for your bold language in your directives. We have found them very inspiring. We think tomorrow night we are touching on two of them. One, our effort is, of course, to address and link arms in support of our youth so that they have positive pathways. And really looking at what real community engagement looks like. We were very intrigued. A few of us went to the Jim Deere's Mapping Your Neighborhood Assets workshop, and it really got us thinking about how many gifts and strengths and positive, incredible assets that we have in our school, Explorer Middle School, in our community, in our neighborhood. So we're really looking forward to sharing what we're already doing. We've done a lot of work with building a positive behavior intervention and support framework. We've done a lot of work building trauma-informed, multi-tiered systems of support. We want to share that with our community. So we're really excited about that, and we are hoping for some really positive action outcomes out of tomorrow night. My question is, we are fierce advocates for our youth, and would love to support and be a part of any bridging to bring youth voice to your work. So again, don't need to answer it now, but if you think about how we can support in bringing that youth voice, we would love to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. Jamie, please take note of that, and our team at the city that is working on youth engagement will follow up with you and make sure that you are a part of that. Thank you for being that strong, fierce voice, and I wish I could take credit for all the fierce language in the directives. You need to look at your 2 community representatives that served on my advisory transition committee, because their voices that kind of shone through in this directive saying, we need to do this work. So thank them, not me. I'm just regurgitating what they already told me to do. So it's their marching orders for me.
My name is Marco Sandoval. I am the father of David Sandoval, the little boy who was shot and killed 5 months ago. This is not a question. This is just, I just want to thank you for everything that you're doing, so we can bring a change into our community. My daughter, my son, we are here because we want to see a change. Because we need to stop this monster that is killing our kids. We have to stop it. And I just want to thank you guys, our leader community, every single one of you, I just want to thank you because I'm sorry to get emotional. I just want to thank you because I'm sure that we can change our community, we can change our world, and that's what I'm hoping for, that we can bring change, that we can bring I cannot bring David back, but I can raise my voice so no one can go through. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I know David is doing okay, but there's some other kids that are in danger, and we are the ones who can save them. Thank you very much. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking up and using your voice and being a part of the work moving forward to make sure that that doesn't happen to another young, beautiful young man in our community. I'm so proud and honored that our department is working with you, and I appreciate everything, your partnership and leadership. And we will work very hard together to make sure that we can make a very positive change in our community and that we can keep our kids safe. And just really appreciate you and your voice and your family and your commitment to our community, so thank you. Yes.
Related to the initiative to expand the number of marijuana retail outlets in the city, I understand you expressed to the zoning or to the planning staff to look at adding some additional filters, I believe was the word, which included, filters regarding vulnerable populations within the city. And part of that was social service agencies, proximity of stores within close to social service agencies. How are you defining social service agencies? Does that involve non-profit, service-based organizations that are offering counseling and doing what they can? Or is this limited to publicly funded, official type agencies?
So the question is about marijuana shops and what we'll be looking at as additional changes, if any, to that regulation right now. As the administration, this is a policy decision that will end with will be in the planning commission, and then it will go to the city council. So I really won't have a say in it. But what I did ask the city staff is to come up with different options that the planning commission and later the council could explore as opportunities. Right now we have regulation around how their proximity to schools, but I know that the person that was running Cocoon House, that same regulation didn't exist for Cocoon House, so a marijuana shop could locate right next to Cocoon House, which is providing services to at-risk and homeless youth, the more vulnerable population to addiction. So I asked that if we're going to look at how we lift that cap and allow additional marijuana shops in the city of Everett, if the city was going to look at that maybe there's an opportunity to at least look at some of those regulations and see if we could increase the areas where the sensitive populations might be, and those would be individuals that are struggling with addiction or getting treatment, but then maybe see if there was a way to open up other areas where maybe to look at the proximity of stores, and if that was something that the planning commission wanted to look at. But again, as the administration, I don't make those decisions. Those will end with the policymakers, but I wanted our planning department to at least give different options that the policymaking bodies could look at.
Well, according to the planning commission meeting that I attended, that was only mentioned by the director of planning, but it wasn't really discussed by the commission. So this process is going forward, and it's to come to the council in June. That's already been laid out. So that's why I wanted to get
But it isn't-
expansion on what you're asking them to look at.
I asked them to use that filter of people that are struggling with addiction, young or youth. So like Boys and Girls Clubs, so not just schools, but also Boys and Girls Club, and you know, Campfire and Boy Scouts and different organizations that exist to serve young people, as well as at-risk populations, so populations that are struggling with addiction. So those were the only additional filters that I asked that they look at and present those back.
Would you like a cough drop?
I have one.
Yes, thank you, I'm all right, this is ongoing.
Thank you, Juana.
I have one student here in every school district. Our other student actually has one of the things that we've noticed by the half she works in the school district as a wonderful person, very educated, is the amount of students in both school districts, but also that through financial means of their family do not qualify for free or reduced lunch, that cannot afford to purchase lunch, and cannot feed themselves lunch from home. What is possible for the city to look at as far as a reasonable approach to feed those students and not have the, I'll call it food shaking. She has to hand us a brown paper bag with a cheese sandwich over my potatoes. She almost lost her job because we took the jar of money so that we could just silently keep putting money in the register for those students so they didn't have to have a cheese sandwich, they can have a paper. There's a lot of students that just don't have those needs because of their parents. I think that that's basically the value of feeding those students outweighs the cost of that measure.
So the question was about the kids that may need free and reduced lunch but don't qualify for free and reduced lunch, and what we can do to make sure that they're provided the meals that they need to be successful in school,
I
right?
wonder if we could make it so we could just fund school lunches. If we could just fully fund school lunches as a city for all students.
So that would be a school district decision, right? So I would have to go back and I'm happy to have those conversations with the superintendent of both Mukilteo School District as well as Everett School District, and that would be an issue and challenge to bring up to the school board. So you've got a school board member right there behind you. That would be the appropriate body to tackle that. We work together with the schools, but we don't have oversight or authority over the schools in that way. That would be the school board and the superintendent's office. So that's where I would encourage you to go with that. Yeah, right here, we got a school board
Thank you,
member.
sir. I'll give you my email address.
I won't give you her name. I just want to feed kids, that's it.
No,
I
that's
just
not,
wanna feed
that's,
kids.
the name's not important, but I'll give you my email address, and he'll tell you I give you my phone number too.
Absolutely.
Thank you. What other, yes?
I don't know how many, so I only know about this area, but I only know about this one area, and it's the 128th Street where the arrows in it, on 128th, the interstate. It's a public safety issue, we're talking a lot about public safety, but I don't shop in there often, but whenever I do, there's a lot of suspicious activity going on in the parking lot. So I've spoken with the store manager about it, and he says that it's because that area is not covered by an Everett Police Department. He says it's not.
Just outside city limits?
Yeah, and the county, because of their resources, lack of resources, most times they don't come out. But it's in the city, so is
No,
it
it's so
not-
frustrating,
not-
isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's those areas, those are some of the hardest areas to serve, are the kind of the border between Everett and unincorporated Snohomish County, and there's always this, you know, is this fall more on Snohomish County or the Everett side, and those are some of the areas where we have some of those significant challenges. I would keep reporting it. I would, you know, on those type of areas where we have issues that are constant in areas, you cannot honestly over-report, so I would continue to report it to the sheriff's department, not just to the store owner, but I would call and say, hey, I see activity here. And a lot of times they prioritize where they go based on the number of calls that they get saying that there's a problem here. So that's the way we do it in Everett, and I believe that the county is gonna be similar, so that's what I would encourage you to do, and I see a nod from the police department over here, so, yeah, so keep calling it in. Okay, I don't see any more hands. I'll stay for a few minutes and you can come ask me a question one-on-one if you'd like, but thank you very much. I enjoyed meeting with you all.